Now I'm not even gonna front to you guys. I wasn't even planning on doing a review tonight. I don't know why. I've got plenty of the tools I need to talk to you guys about bourbon and scotch, but I wasn't planning on it. But it is also like almost midnight on a Wednesday. I have openly admitting to you guys that I have been drinking, and I will tell you what I've been drinking after I review this this pour. Straight up, what I've been drinking is not what I'm reviewing on this first part, but this is a 2-part special. Oh, excuse me. It's gonna be a 2-part special. We're gonna do one review on a bourbon that I actually like a lot. And then we're gonna do a second part of a scotch that I've never tried before until tonight. And that scotch is what I've been drinking this evening while watching Law and Order SVU, because that's kind of my Wednesday thing. What I wanted to review as far as bourbon goes is one that's no stranger to anybody. It comes out of a distillery that I think, if I read correctly, I can't remember, I've been drinking like I said, so fuck you. Comes out of the same camp or the same distillery. I'll call it camp. I'll call it whatever the fuck I want to. Comes out of the same camp as, say, your Pappy and your Eagle Rare. To name a few, or a couple. It's one of my favorite bourbons of all time. It's cheap, but when I say cheap, I'm not talking about like $13 to $14 cheap, which I've found quite a handful of those that I've reviewed. If you guys have kept up with the Whiskey Wonder channel, when I say cheap, what I mean is, like, if I go into a store and I see the prices out, I'll instantly be like, that ain't bad. Let me get that. What I'm talking about is this little bitty, this baby right here. Buffalo Trace. I got this bottle for, I don't know, $23.99 at one of my local spots. I go to like 2 or 3 spots, and their prices are a little different sometimes. Sometimes it's $23.99, sometimes it's $25.99, sometimes it's $22.99. But I got this bottle for $23.99. Buffalo Trace from Buffalo Trace Distilleries, who also makes a lot of other good shit. Let's see. I've had it before. I've had it plenty of times. I've had it a lot. For $23, it's a really good buy, in my opinion. Some people don't agree with my opinion, and to those people, I say, okay, that's fine. It's still my opinion. I'm not gonna let you fucking change it. Buffalo Trace. I bought it yesterday. As you can see, I drank some of it. I'm gonna drink a little bit more. Pour a little bit. I'm only gonna pour a little bit. Like I said, I've already had a little bit to drink. Now, on my tablet over here, I do have, what's this website? Breaking Bourbon or something like that pulled up with their review, but I haven't read it yet. I just keep refreshing the page so that my tablet doesn't go off or, like, Yeah. As you can, I don't know if you can see it. I'm using a regular glass today. I feel kind of guilty, but it's a dark. It's like a dark amber color, like most bourbons. It's really clear, which means there was probably a cold filtration going on in there, unlike the Jim Beam. Which one? What was the Jim Beam that I had? The Jim Beam Distiller's Cut that had no cold filtration. So you have that. It's that beautiful fucking brown burnt. What's the fruit? Apricot. Is it apricot? I don't know, it's like an amber color. See it? You guys can see it. Fuck, it's right there. I'm gonna taste it. Well, first on the nose. Blah 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 blah. Vanilla. Mostly vanilla. There's a certain citrusy smell to it, like most bourbons. Vanilla, citrus. I say citrus, not so much orange or pineapple and some shit like that, but like a pear orange type shit, right? There's a little heat in the nose, just like I get sinus issues, so when I take a deep, it actually, you know what I mean. So it's got a little something to it. The vanilla is definitely there. Pear, like a pear. And there's that I want to call it like an oakiness, like a woody finish, a little bit of heat on the back. Buffalo Trace. Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 45% alcohol by volume. We're looking at about 45%. I'm guessing around close to 90 proof. Yeah, 90 proof. 45% alcohol by volume, 90 proof, 750 milliliter bottle. Buffalo Trace. Very good for $23. On this Breaking Bourbon website, it says that the nose is instantly likable and pleasant with notes of caramel, honey, orange, and vanilla. The nose balances these flavors well while providing an underlying layer of oak and mint. I didn't get like any like mint bubblegum type, you know, like I didn't get any of that. The palate. Sweet and mellow with notes of brown sugar, vanilla, and toffee. Toffee. You ever have a Skor bar? Like one of those candy bars? It's Skor, S-K-O-R. When I think of toffee, I think of Skor bars. I'm not an expert. I'm just going by what I can taste, and I'm getting better, I think. But when I compare what I taste versus the way that some of these people describe their taste, I'm just like, motherfucker, what? Toffee. Toffee, the palate might be too sweet for some, but probably very enjoyable for most. Light amounts of oak and rye spice round out the palate. So, you know, from a non-expert to, I guess, an expert, I was close. The finish is a moderately long finish with oak at the forefront. The finish really opens up and develops and ultimately ends by filling your nostrils. It's a very interesting and full flavor finish for a 90 proof bourbon. Straight up, I'm really fucking close on how I reviewed it. So Fuck it. Let's see. I'm gonna read this part and then move on because this shit's running longer than I wanted it to. Uniqueness is the title for this part. Buffalo Trace Bourbon doesn't have a flavor profile that screams unique, and that's probably by design. Buffalo Trace Distillery doesn't disclose the exact mash bill for their flagship brand, but we know it's low on rye, 10% or less, and that George T. Stagg, Eagle Rare, and E.H. Taylor Small Batch are made from the same recipe. What makes Buffalo Trace Bourbon unique is that for a lower priced bourbon, it doesn't taste cheap. See what I said at the beginning? I'm getting better, motherfuckers. Additionally, it's surprisingly robust for a 90 proof bourbon. It's not trying to be the most unique bourbon at the party, just one that everyone gets along with at the party. That's a pretty good description on that one. All right, so that was Buffalo Trace. Now, what I did today was I went to one of my local stores to buy a new bottle of something that I've never tried before. Although I love bourbon, I am 75% more for Scotch. Highland Scotch, Islay's, just, peat, non-peated. So here's what I picked up. I picked up a bottle of Glenmorangie Highland Malt Scotch Whiskey. Highland Malt Scotch Whiskey, the original, 10 years old. It says here on the label, Glenmorangie is renowned the world over for its elegant and floral spirit, a single malt whiskey of exquisite finesse and alluring complexity. Truly original since 1843. We're looking at $750 milliliter, 43% alcohol by volume, which puts this at about 83, 84 proof. Yeah, of course, you're not gonna tell me. I did zero research on this. Like I said, it's my first time. Imported by Moet Hennessy USA Inc., New York, New York. Interesting. This in comparison to, say, Lafroig, which is my favorite, my first favorite over $40 Scotch. Unlike Lafroig, this is a little bit more subtle as far as the heat. See, my thing is I really like peat. I really like the smokiness that it brings and the flavor and that medicine taste to it. I really like that shit. A lot of people don't like that shit. I, on the other hand, I'm gonna sit this here. Hopefully it doesn't fall. I, on the other hand, love that shit. So I do have, these came in today. These Glencairn, it's, what is it? The Glencairn glass. These little thingies, see them? Those are really cool. The shape of it actually provides a better nose on the content, and then it also lets me get a better taste. It's really weird how that works. But I'm gonna use this glass tonight. As you can see, it's a really light color. Really fucking light color. It's really cool because it kind of matches the labeling. I'm gonna put this down here because like I said, I have been drinking and I drank a little bit more. And if that bottle falls, I'm gonna be pissed. So here's the thing with motherfucker. You know what? Glenmorangie. We're gonna do it like this. Every time I see it, I think of lemon meringue. And it actually has a little bit of a citrus lemony thing to it. So let's see if I can. Whoa, I was way the fuck off. Let's listen to that again.
Glenmorangie.
That motherfucker sounds spooky. Glenmorangie. So what I have in my glass at the moment is Glenmorangie. 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 I like the ones that I can't pronounce. Glenmorangie. As you can tell, let me see if I can do a contrast. So this is Scotch, single malt. This is Bourbon. See the color difference? Can you see the color difference? Probably not helping. Bourbon is a little bit darker. But I have been drinking on this since about 8 o'clock. Look at that color. It's gorgeous. And it's really good. Oh, shit. Before I forget. Son of a bitch, I forgot. Hold on. Tonight's cigar, my second cigar of the night. The first time I had the Crown Heads Yellow Rose to go with Glenmorangie. Now I'm thinking of Jumanji. Anyway, the Crown Heads have a cigar called the Yellow Rose, and that motherfucker is beautiful. And I always try to go with the fullest flavor or the fullest strength cigar that I can go with when it comes to Scotch. It's a beautiful pairing. But I smoked that, and now I'm smoking this HVC Edición Especial from 2015. If you can see that date, there it is. Validation, bitches. I love these things. These are really good smokes. Anyway, back to the Scotch. There you have it. See that? Okay, fuck it. On the nose. No smoke. Very little smoke, if none. A lemon, like a lemony citrus to it. But there's something underlying. It's like a sweet something. Not a fruit sweet, but like a candy. Hot, not like hot like Fireball garbage, but like a candy sweetness on the nose. That's good. It's really good. There's a medium finish to it. There's a fruit to it. There's a fruit besides the lemon. There's something else there. There's like a lemon, but then there's like a sweetness. So it's like a not strawberry, but like a apple lemonade. It's a weird combination, but it comes together really well. I think that's a woodsy taste to it on the finish. Maybe it's I know exactly what that is. If I'm not mistaken, that's American oak barrels. That finish is thick. Lemon, oak, like a pear lemonade type shit. Anyway, this bottle cost me $42. It's $2 above what I usually review on here. Is $42 Glenmorangie. Original 10-year aged, 90 proof Highland single malt Scotch whiskey. On a scale from 1 being the worst, 5 being the greatest, Buffalo Trace gets a 5. Same scale, Glenmorangie gets a 5. I'm a big fan of Jameson, but at a cost of almost $10 more, the Glenmorangie is really good. Now, I know this is long. I know it's like 20 minutes long, probably gonna be about 25 minutes, but I discovered the other day while I was in the store that Jameson is a blend. I usually read the labels, right? But I like what I like. You don't have to like what I like. You don't even have to try what the fuck I like. You don't even have to agree with my nose and my palate and all. You don't have to agree. I don't give a fuck about what you think. This is my channel. But I was like super fucking, I don't know if it was disappointment or if I felt just stupid, because Jameson is my favorite fucking Irish whiskey. So I started looking at the labels, and I'm like, okay, they're spelling whiskey with an E, whereas brands like Macallan, Ardbeg, Oban, fucking all these other, they're spelling their shit without the E. And for some reason, that shit is a big deal to me. Whenever I see the E in the word whiskey, and it comes to terms of, you know, Scotch, then I question how it was distilled. I question where it came from. And although Jameson is my #1 fucking whiskey ever, I was disappointed. I was like, oh no. Oh no. And I could have bought Jameson, like the original, which I will probably do a review on eventually. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pay almost fucking 20 extra fucking dollars and get this Glenmorangie. And I did, and there's a big fucking difference. There's a big fucking difference. It's more along the lines of Glenlivet and Glenfiddich, more than it is Jameson. So I don't know if I was disappointed or just felt stupid, because I really like Jameson. I'll probably buy a bottle tomorrow. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's a dual review. Remember, nobody is allowed to tell you how to enjoy your fucking whiskey or your scotch. Remember that shit. If you like it on the rocks, get it on the rocks. If you like it neat, drink it neat. If you like it in a fucking mixed drink, mix that bitch up. But nobody can tell you the right or wrong way to drink your shit. Drink it how you like it. I always go neat. Happy birthday to my homeboy, my best friend, my brother, Chavis. He turned like 137 years old today. And he actually bought a bottle of it's just not gonna pull up right off of Google like that, but he bought a really decent bottle tonight for his birthday to celebrate. I wish I could hang out and smoke with you and drink with you, but bitch, you get up too early in the morning and I got shit to do tomorrow morning too. So happy birthday to you, motherfucker, little punk ass. The HVC Edition Especial 2015 paired with Buffalo Trace and Glenmorangie. This is Whiskey Wonder. Quite frankly, if you're watching this, thank you. If you're not watching this, Okay.